Hurrah! Alright, you lovely, wonderful people. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what is going on. So many people, so many bearish news, so many different stuff. Can't really keep up. So much going on. Let me just quickly check what's going on. If we have gone live or not. I believe we're live. I see KR here. I see Costin here. That clearly means we are definitely live. Except I can't see what's going on. It's stupid. I have no idea. Right. Yeah, I can see my videos, but I can see. Hold on, let me see my channel. Let's see what's going on. Oh yes, there we are now, because I just want to see the chat. Bro, please talk about the VIX S&P 500 indicator volatility. Get the chart up, everyone. We hit 50 was the bottom. Okay, I see him here. I see Splinty. Awesome, my brother. How are you? We're gonna talk, Splinty. We're gonna have to talk on our Discord server, bro. Right, hit 80 twice, 2008 crash and COVID crash, currently 32. Doesn't matter. El Bubble says hello. Awesome, my brother. I see Costin. I see everybody. My God, everybody's here. Awesome. I guess this is a good time to actually start streaming. Awesome. Right, so we will look at the VIX if you want, but listen, we want to identify two patterns that we've got here. That's more important here. You know, I don't really care what the S&P does, and remember what I talked to you a couple of weeks ago as well. I said, look, if you look at the macro of everything that's happening, we talked about how there may be a financial crash, how it's overdue, how the stock markets are crashing, how the interest rates are going up. We talked about all of these things, right? So when we talk about these, we know that these are things that are happening current, but we have already projected them. We said, look, this is due to come, this is going to happen. And when it does, it's going to be absolutely insane. But does this really relate to crypto? You should know this very well. I have been one that has never ever said that both of them are correlated. Even they look correlated, right? When we saw the S&P 500, when we saw the global stock markets, when we saw the cryptosphere, the cryptocurrency global markets, right? When we saw them, I've always mentioned, I said, yes, they look very similar, but that's just the kind of market structure. When people are happy, everybody wants to spend. When they're not happy, nobody wants to spend. And right now, people are so uncertain. They don't know what's going on. They want to hold on to their cash. All right, that's the only way out. What do you do when everything crashes? They just want to hold on to the crash. So we'll talk about it. I mean, we'll talk a little bit about it. We'll look at the S&P 500. But again, none of this really matters to me. Again, you're talking about stock markets to a crypto guy who doesn't really give a damn about stock markets. Right, when we're bullish, we're bullish on everything. I see Raki here. Awesome. Everybody here. Damn, so many people, man, so many people. That's awesome. Keep up the chat going. Right, so let's go into the chart and quickly just show you exactly what's going on. So some of the stuff that you may have noticed, like, you know, and we don't want to use the cringy word like exactly as predicted, but sadly sometimes it is, right? Even though I'm not going to use that word, because it wasn't a prediction, it was more of a projection that we made, right? We made an absolute projection. We said, look, there's going to be something that's happening in the market, and you know, it will come and touch these specific lines. And I went through the charts to kind of understand that, okay, I've drawn these lines, I've put these marks up there based on certain fundamentals from a previous cycle, previous range, previous you know, support zones that I believe that we could potentially get. And I'm basing this on these indicators where we're saying, look, we've got 2-3 candles here. That's significant enough for us to pick up a support. Right, we've got a couple of candles here, enough for us to pick up a support. I also talked about how the line chart looks completely different. Let me take the drawings off and let me just show you the line chart, and that will make total sense to you. So if you start looking at the line chart, then things start to look a little better, right? So you start seeing this and you know, like, where we are right now. So we're currently down here. I know it's going to be hard for some of you guys to see, but look, we are down here right now. And if you look carefully, if we go back, you can see that these lines, these areas where the bodies are pretty much where we've been messing around recently. So for example, the recent low that we had, right, when we had that peak down, when we had that body coming down, if you look carefully, you'll notice this particular area here. And if you go back to the line chart, what you notice is we were kind of in this zone. So we found support around this area, this specific area, which is currently the 17,600 whatever level, but it was around this particular area, this you know, V shape that you're seeing. because that's the best way I can explain it to you in a layman's term. But these are the facts in the chart, and that's what we saw. You know, when we're looking at this area here, it's not a how would I say this? It's not a really a dominant area for us, right? Because when we start looking at the pattern, we can see how we just kind of flied through. We did a fresh candle every day and we just moved on. Of course, there was a little bit of a sign here and there, a little bit of indecisive, but we crossed through this. This is not something we should be concerned about. What we should be concerned about is this particular zone here, because again, this is a BTC chart, right? And what we notice is that this area here, this 19, 20K, whatever level, that's where we're currently finding this support. We're building this support, right? And we've tested it. We've broken it already. That's one fact. We've broken it already. Another fact, Ethereum broke its 2017 high and it's currently sitting below. So we can use one or the other and we can see what's going on, because these are the top two currencies, right? And what we see is Ethereum is sitting below its previous market high. And that's dangerous, right? And that's a good enough signal for us. And of course, people are going to talk about how the Ethereum FUD and everything. Trust me, people who want to buy Ethereum, they buy Ethereum. They don't give a damn about the FUD, right? People who want to stake their Ethereum, they go and stake the Ethereum. Even today, if you go and look how many Ethereum are being staked, you'll see constantly on a plus point. There has never been a negative. More and more people are buying and staking their Ethereum. So of course, we're super bullish, absolutely super bullish, right? Because think about it this way: you needed to use your GPU, CPU miner, whatever you want to call it, right? You wanted to use that in order for you to mine Ethereum. It was not easy, right? The more time we spent in the market, the more we progressed, the more difficult it became, more centralized it became, and now it's going to be decentralized in a particular way, where, for example, you can stake 32 Ethereum, and boom, you got yourself. You can start mining. Of course, there are a few setups with your AWS and XYZ, whatever, but those are different story. But there are facilities out there where you can do this, and a lot of people are finding it very easy. You know, I mean, Splinty would know this, right? If Splinty answers this, Splinty would know this very well. That there are methods out there where you can actually lock a very small amount of Ethereum, maybe even, I don't know, $10 worth or $100 worth, and you can actually still participate in Ethereum mining as well from that, like staking mining and this and that. So it's absolutely possible. There are plenty of tools out there for us to use. So just factor this in, that yes, we have a chart of Ethereum where we can see what Ethereum is currently doing. We can see Ethereum is currently below its previous high level. So you can see this is a fact, right? This is undeniable fact that we can see on the chart, right? And I'll just do a little thing just to kind of show you. Look, this is a fact you cannot deny. This was the previous market high. This was the structure, and we're currently below. This is dangerous. The signs are still very, very dangerous. Of course, when we go back into the BTC, we can see that there's so much information here that currently, yes, we peaked down, we tested it, we're trying to create support, but is it significant enough? Is it good enough? And of course, what house can we use in order for us to actually see that if it's actually accurate or not? Now, you probably noticed that I'm on the weekly. I want to move it to a shorter time frame, to the 5-day, possibly the 3-day, maybe the 1-day. I want to show you some other fascinating factors that are happening right now. So one of the things that I do use is my moving averages, obviously, right? I always use my moving averages. In fact, I'm going to switch off a few of those. This is a 50. I'm going to switch off the 50. I don't need the 50 right now. I'm just going to use the 21. Okay, I'm going to use my 21 and I'm going to use my 100-day moving average. That's all I'm going to use. I don't need anything else. And I'm going to use my support resistance clusters. That's it. This is my own indicator. You can actually go on TradingView, click my name, and you'll find my indicator there. Right. So let's talk about this particular indicator. First of all, we're going to talk about the moving averages. Right, what we noticed is what's happened here right now, and I'm just going to show you this very carefully. So you can see here, this is the 21 and this is the 100. So this is the 100 and this is the 21. So that way you know which one we're talking about, because I know the colors are very same. But the idea here is, look carefully how we fell below the 21. Now this is technically one of the shortest time frame we're using. Of course, you can use a 7-day, a 9-day, a 13-day, whatever you want, right? But we're using a 21-day. And what we notice is, since we were above, we were bullish. Once we started pushing down, we became bearish. And then since then, we've just been hugging this line. We've been hugging this line. You know, we exited approximately around here somewhere. I think it was around here, exactly here. Look, 58,000, just before we peaked down. We saw that, we saw the indication. We said we're going to come out. Now we started coming out. Now, On these shorter time frames, this is a 5-day, and I'm going to flip through the time frame just to kind of show you what's going on. What you notice is this is our resistance line, a very small resistance line. This is also a resistance line, a very small resistance line. And this should give you a rough idea of how high we have to go in order for us to confirm. Of course, we also want to use the body as a structure and say, well, hold on, we need a fact. And the fact is we need to get above this particular $30,400 or $30,500 level in order for us to start showing some bullish signs, if that makes sense to you, right? Also, if you want to look at the support and resistance cluster, you can see how this 13,700 or 13,800 is also flashing as one of the biggest support zones. We had the most amount of volume, the most amount of traffic in this one specific zone. Okay, why? Because we had this zone back in 2017. We had it back in 2018. This is 2018, by the way. We had it back in 2019. You can see that we built this mega massive wall, or think about it like a dam, right? Or whatever you want to call it, right? But the point is, we built this mega structure here as a massive support zone. We know that this is going to be a significant level for us. This is one of the reasons why I feel that we have a massive chance for us to actually come back and test this. Okay, so we've got the facts here by using the line chart. Of course, we can move off the line chart and you can see all the candles showing, all the wicks and everything showing, and this is where we based it on. But if we just want to go to the facts, it's not much of a difference, but we see that we've had peak here, we've had a peak here, we've got an area here. All of these are indicating this is a brilliant support zone. Am I going to put my money on this area? Possibly not, because I want to put it here, and this is where my last final buy order is set up. You all know very well that on these lines, the white lines are my primary buy orders, the yellow lines are my secondary buy orders. What I mean by that is these white lines were set up 1 year ago. We expected the market to come and touch these lines 1 year ago, and we did so, right? Based on many fundamentals, and we can talk about the bear flag, we can talk about all sorts of this. It doesn't matter. Ultimately, the trend is your friend, right? So that's what it was. We used the trend, we used our 21-day moving average. Right, the 21 on a 5-day, 21 on a daily, it doesn't matter, right? So just to kind of show you, you'll see what I mean. Again, I'm going to switch off my SRC just for the sake of it, and I'm going to switch off the drawing just so you can understand. So we were, and I want to switch off the 100 as well, right? You can see we've been hugging this line, and then we fell. And this is it. This is like the signal for us to say that, guys, we're going to go down even more. So for us to start being bullish, obviously we need to move back up again. Again, I want to show you on the 3-day, similar kind of story. This is a 21 moving average on a 3-day, same story, hugging. These are facts on the chart you cannot deny, right? So that's what's been going on. So this is the moving average. Now, if we go back to the support resistance clusters, I'm going to switch off the moving average because we don't want this right now. So we're going to talk about support resistance clusters. I'm going to talk about weekly, monthly, and weekly and below, right? So we're going to go on the weekly. What we see is this information here, this particular area here at the 13,812, telling us it's not a big support zone, but it's a good enough support zone. So we know that we have this particular area, absolutely nothing in this particular area, and I even call it a dead man zone. A dead man zone. This is a dead man zone, right? This is completely useless area to be in. That's what we've got here, because we did not have any structure other than this one fact here, which was the peak of 2017. We had absolutely nothing here as a structure to give us support. That's what we got here. So that's what we're looking at for our support cluster. And I'm also going to look at I see silent sweep here. I see splint here. Okay, I'm going to look at all of you guys here. This is going to be awesome. I'm going to have a look at the chats as well in a second. So let's go through this one, right? So we see this support zone at this 13,800. It's flashing to me. And for me, this indicator was made with a lot of love, and I have faith in it, right? I have faith in it. But is it my absolute indicator? No. There's a lot more to this, right? There's absolutely a lot more to this. I just wanted to move through just to show you, where we've got the 5-day, even flashing this number again showing us this area with nothing in it. This is a dead man zone. The only thing we have here is this one area here, approximately 18,000, which could possibly give us a lovely little support. But again, do I think it's going to hold? It's not strong enough. This is a lot stronger area. This whole area here is a lot stronger than this area here. That's what I'm looking at. So I'm trying to single out the problems here and trying to find a solution to say, where is most of the traffic? And I see, again, most of the traffic is here, and I'm moving through these time frames. Remember, I'm on the 3-day now. I'm using odd numbers, right? Again, daily, similar story. But here, because of the way it's set up, it doesn't show much. But again, you can see clearly that from this zone here to this zone here, we actually don't have much traffic or momentum or anything. You want to call it volume, movement, whatever you like to call it. It does not matter. We do not have any. So let me read the comments and then we're going to move on to the other indicators, right? Let's move into this. So Splinty says, yes, bro, ETH 2.0 is big focus for me, being a GPU miner myself. Running a validator is empowering. Totally agree. Awesome. Thank you. Smash up the like button. Got to run for stand up with the replay. Peace out. Awesome, my brother. Thank you very much for coming to the show, Splinty. Definitely I'll catch you. I'm going to try and catch you on the Discord because we need to talk about a few things. We had some of our artwork kind of confirmed today, so we are going to talk about this regarding our project paradexes. We are going to talk about this. I'm not going to talk about paradexes too much. This is all about the patterns, right? All about the patterns. So this was the basic part of the pattern. We just done a basic pattern here to understand the 21-day moving average. We look at the 100-day moving average. We can see a cross has already happened. We want to go into a higher time frame to see exactly what these cross mean for us, right? So we've had a cross here. We need to see this starting to flip back up again to be bullish. What we want to see, what we will be seeing, because of how this is pointing down. I mean, if you want me to change the color, guys, just in case, I mean, you just got to say so, right? Just say, look, dude, change the color. Your color's rubbish, right? Just say so, right? Just say, make it bigger, and I'll make it bigger. And then just say, change the color to yellow, and I'll make it yellow. So you know what I'm talking about. Mark, pity, been a while, but always check the vids later. Awesome, my brother. Thank you very much for coming to the show. Yes, I don't do these late ones, but today I was playing around with the cats and everything, setting up, catifying the house basically, and doing all sorts of other crazy stuff. So kind of been there. And then the laptop ran out of battery. I didn't realize I left the laptop on. So I quickly charged it. I thought, okay, let me give it an hour. Charged it. I got 70%. It's more than enough. So I thought, do you know what? That's it. I'm going to go on live. And I'm about to go live. And then KR just says, bro, when live? I was like, bro, I'm going live now. What's wrong with you? So that's what's going on. But anyway, look, this is a simple indicator. 100-day moving average line down here. And we've got this 21-day, this yellow line here. Very simple yellow line here. And what you see is when we fall, we come down. And then when we start becoming bullish again, the confirmation signs come here when we cross back up again. So that's what we're looking for. We want to start crossing back up again. Of course, we can activate the 50-day as well, just in case you want, but there's not really much of a difference between the 50 and the 100. Okay, in fact, what you can see, the 50 cross was a lot later than the 100 cross. So we want to use the one that's more sooner to us, right? Because we need the confirmation before everybody else. Because if everybody else is focusing on the 50, that's what they're going to see. Another one I can activate is, let me get rid of this. I don't need this. Let me copy, activate another one. Give me a second. So what I want to do, I want to add a 200 on this one. Let's add a 200 to this one and change the color to green. All right, so we're going to change it to green, right? Again, the same story, just so I can show you the 50, the 100, the 200, the 21. You can see all four indicators here, and you can see which one makes the most amount of move. Of course, you can see maybe you want to talk about this 200. Yes, but it's going to happen later. It's not going to happen yet. So you can see this has already happened later. Here it happened before. So we need to know, when does it make the move again? Maybe we want to wait for this to move, cross over the 200. Maybe we can do this as well. Absolutely fine. But I want full confirmation. For me, the full confirmation would be when I see it crossing over the 100-day. If that makes sense to you, or the 100 moving average, basically on a 5-day cycle or a 3-day cycle. It doesn't matter which cycle you put it on, they're pretty much fairly the same. Okay, fairly the same. As long as the number's odd, you're absolutely fine. I normally like the 5 days on a lower time frame, or 7 days is even better. But 7 days, the data is not going to be 100%, as you can see here. It's not going to be 100%. It's still very similar, very close. It's okay. You can use that if you want, but I like the 5 days. So that's just me being kind of fussy. Nothing more. So that's what I wanted to show you guys. Very powerful data, powerful stuff here to look at. Now, we talked about time, because I mentioned the other day, I said there's one other indicator, and the indicator is called time. So what did I mean when I said time? I mean, it's kind of silly. Someone's coming in and saying, what the, I'm going to talk about time. right? Time as an indicator. Have you ever heard of time as an indicator? Damn. Well, guess what? If you haven't, again, we're going to use the line chart because we want to look at the facts, right? And we're going to look at time as an indicator. And what we notice is something very, very awesome. We notice this time here, the time it took from one location to another. We know here, for example, it took 392 days. We have an info. We have some information here. It took 392 days, approximately. I'll just call it approximate. Here, we do the same again, and guess what? We take 210 days. What we're noticing is the time is diminishing. The time is becoming shorter. So we know we talked about a lengthening cycle, a diminishing return, means your percentage are going to be less over time, and the cycles are going to be a lot longer. And yes, we have seen those, right? Now we're talking about bear cycles, how low or how long they can last. And we're thinking, hold on, this one could be different. And am I talking about stock market? No, I don't give a damn about the stock market. Stock markets didn't tell us they're going to crash before BTC told us it was going to crash. We already knew since last year what to expect. We knew the trend was already reversed, and we said, okay guys, the trend is reversing. That's it. It's better for us to start sitting in our fiat currencies. Get rid of our altcoins, get rid of our BTC, get rid of everything if you're holding liquid asset. That's only your liquid portfolio. We're not talking about our trading portfolio, or for example, we're not talking about our hodling portfolio. The most important portfolio is your hodling portfolio, right? So that's what we're looking at right now. And, you know, where we are right now, from what I can see, this 210 and this 393, I'm just trying to average, and I'm trying to say, okay, if we're looking at this particular way, we can see that the time is almost half. Almost 392, 210, almost, right? We just keep it that way, right? 55% or whatever. The point is almost half. So if it's almost half, let's just randomly say 105 days, right? If we estimate 105 days from here, 105, and I'm about to shock you. I'm about to absolutely shock you. If I'm going to say we have 105 days from here, which is approximately here, and I want to bring it down because I want to show you what month this is. September. Again, we have September. We've talked about September last year. We talked about the one chart, 3 scenarios or 4 scenarios or whatever we called it. And we talked about how if this happens in January, then expect this in March. If this happens in March, then expect this in September. We talked about this. And here you go. Again, it's flashing. So time is our new indicator. The new indicator is telling us that over time, the amount we spend in a bear market is far less. But does this mean that we're going to go and we're going to pump to the moon? No. Let's be realistic here, okay? The pump, when we do move out of these, as you can see here, for example, we could have another 2019 by all means. Absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine. But the idea is when do we buy? This would be our opportunity to start buying in. A few days ago, I made a video, and I think I announced it on video as well. And I told everybody how I'm starting to dollar cost average in. My first buy order, which I placed a year ago, filled. I'm waiting for my second one to fill. I'm waiting for my third one to fill. I'm waiting for these specific price zones. And I've been very, very transparent with these, right? I'm sitting around literally waiting for these zones to come. Are they going to come? I don't know, and I don't care. Point is, right, this is the point, right? When we sold our BTC approximately here, when we sold our BTC approximately at this specific level, the $58,000 level, we sold 1 BTC. If we pick up BTC here for the 20K, we get almost 3 BTCs. I'm not looking at my price appreciation because I had that from here. I had a price appreciation from here. I had a long trade from here. I had everything going well for me from here until I saw the pattern change. Then what did I do? I said, I'm out. I made all my money here already. I'm waiting here, and I'm just giving you a hypothetical scenario here, or a situation, or some sort of an explanation, right? Whatever you want to understand. But I'm just telling you, 1 BTC sold at $58,000 today bought me the same amount of money, bought me 3 BTC. Now that 3 BTC tomorrow might start pumping back up. By all means, when it does, am I worried about making a trade? If I wanted to do a long, I could do a 1 BTC trade, and I've still got 2 BTC to reap the profits at the top, wherever the top is. So I can do another whole 2019. By all means, from here, I can do another whole 2019. I have no issues. And you're probably asking, you know very well about these levels. These are the levels I'm looking at where we need to get back above in order to create a fresh trend, in order to enter the bullish trend again. Because remember, our cycles are many months long cycles, right? Let's do this. I'll show you this. This is brilliant. You'll understand what I mean, right? So if we start going to some of these cycles, and I'll just take the drawings off. These are beautiful cycles. You have to really look into it to understand what's going on, right? Look at this. Beautiful cycles. Beautiful cycles. So you can see the entire history here. And what you notice is how long we spent here, then we spent a little bit less here, and then currently we're here. Again, the patterns are also making sense of what's going on. Look at it. I mean, just look at it. I know you might say, well, this is a red. Well, actually, no. If you look carefully, this was a red on an uptrend. This was your 2019, right? This was your 2019. So look at this. It's an uptrend. Look at each candle. Look how these market structure plays. These are the patterns we're looking at. Does that make sense, right? These are the patterns we're looking at. It's just beautiful what I'm seeing. So yes, let's go back to thing. I'm going to stop blabbing now. I'm going to go back to the charts because I know some of you guys are probably starting, what the hell is this guy talking about? Yes, I'm not talking about anything. I'm just talking about what I'm about to do. Nothing more. Just what I want to do. Absolutely nothing out. But the point is we hit that mark. Bang on the dot. We broke this, bang on the dot. We hit this mark, back on the dot. We even touched this almost, bang on the dot. I'm going to take the credit. I don't care. And we're now coming towards this because what everybody doesn't notice is where we are right now. Now, let's move on to the stochastic RSI and RSI so you can understand exactly what we're looking at, right? I'm going to start off with a daily. So on a daily, everybody sees us going down here and shooting back up, looking super bullish. Super bullish, right? Okay, fine. We'll take that. We'll be like, okay, this is absolutely super bullish. We want to start pumping and everything. But there's a little sign here, for example, today showing us slightly bearish. Well, let's see. Is it bullish? Is it bearish? Ultimately, for us to really understand, what we need to see is this particular area here, invalidated. For us to be bullish, we need to get back above here. This 45 area. We need to get back above this 45 area for us to be bullish. That's on your daily, number one. Now let's move on to the 3 days. We see super bullish. We see, super bearish, not bullish. My bad. But what we see is another data here. We see this area here pointing down. So we know the trend is down. The trend is your friend until the end. Trend is down. And also, if we wanted to start moving back up and we want to really 100% confirm where we are, well, we need to get back above this. Again, this 40... It's saying 48 here, but let's just whatever, 44, 48, whatever. It doesn't matter. We just call it there. But this is where we are. We're in a downward channel. So that's what's going on. Let's look at the 5 days. Same story. We're still bearish. So look at these higher time frames and you can see how bearish we are. Look at this weekly. A lot of people assumed this was bullish, but what they didn't realize was this was not bullish at all. If you look carefully, we were pointing down. Now we can go to the monthly, still bearish. So give us more info about September. Bubble says give us more info about September. All right. So September is bull run. September is when we start seeing a pattern form. And I'll show you the pattern so it makes total sense to you why I think it's September. So it will make total sense, absolute total sense to you. So let's open up a chart that I haven't shown to you guys. So let's go to all layouts and let's go to the one I do for YouTube. This is the one I shared with everybody. We've done the thing. So we talked about this, right? We talked about this. Okay, I'm going to remove this. I don't need this right now. Right now, I don't need this. So buy target zone, probable. We said this and we hit that on the dot. We went beyond that. And I want to show you a few bits and bobs here. All right. So what are we looking at, right? What are we looking at? So let's get rid of the drawings for the second. I just want to get rid of the, actually, I need the drawings. Okay, let's keep the drawings. Not a problem, not a problem. Let's keep the drawings. So on this particular chart, right, what you see is there's this trend line, right? So I created this trend line, this massive trend line. This is on a very high time frame. These are monthly candles, right? These are monthly candles. And what you see is I took the peak, and since then I created this, and I said, this is a pattern we are following. Whatever happens, we're going to stick to this pattern. Yes, we dip down a little bit, so what? But we're looking at a mean. We're looking at the average. We're looking at those facts in the chart, right? That's what we're looking at. So if you can see carefully, these are the areas we're looking at. Of course, we can adjust this a little bit, but that's about it. But so far, it's been holding tight. It's been following to this. It's been keeping tight to this. Now, this particular line itself actually originally came from the Bitcoin logarithmic chart. Now I want to show you the log chart, right? So let me show you the log chart. So this is the log chart. And now I can switch off the drawings. So on the log chart, what you see is the bottom area, the top area, and where we are right now. 1 second. Because I want to do something else as well. So that will make total sense to you why the September comes up. So first of all, I'm going to bring it to the bar pattern. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this area here. Because this is really important. What we need to see is where we are and how we're basically working out with these things when we see these moves come on. So let's get this. Yes. So we're going to take the bottom here. I'm going to take the bottom of the market, and we're going to start pushing forward and see where the top of this market was. I want to bring this to this zone here. I'm going to do the same again from the next bottom of the market. Okay, which was this particular area here to the top. That's all we're doing. We're just playing with bar patterns, nothing else, guys. Just bar pattern, right? Nothing significant, just childish stuff, right? And then the next one we're going to do is this particular bottom here. Actually, this was the bottom here, and then this was the top, right? So we're going to take this particular area, and we're going to do the same thing. And I think we did this a year ago, so the data is not going to show up 100%. Actually, this was the bottom. So let's do it from here. It's not going to show up 100%, but it's good. It's good anyway, right? Nevertheless, it's absolutely fine. I have zero issues using it. So I want to put this back here, right? So and I want to change the color for this one particular one. I want to change it to blue. All right, so let's move these drawings. No, I need the drawings. Okay. All right, just to show you, anyway, it doesn't matter. Right. So what we've got here is each cycle. So you can see this is the first cycle, which was a massive long cycle, right? Where we peaked out a particular percentage, which if we did follow this, you can see that in June 2024, we could potentially go to $280,000 approximately is what this is telling us. Maybe, maybe not, right? We see this particular area. If we follow the other one, we see September 2024, we could be looking at approximately $550,000 approximately. So this one should be 800 and oh, this is like 2 million or something like 2-3 million. Sorry, my back is hurting. Right. And then if we move into this particular one, we see January. Yeah, this data is not correct, but doesn't matter. We see January 2024, we could potentially go to this particular level. But what we want to look at is this zone here. When did we first come back and start pushing forward? When did we start creating these zones, right? Sorry, this area here, for example, we hit that bottom. When did we come back to the top and start confirming these areas? Because this was technically the confirmation that the bottom was in. So this was the bottom. This was the one that confirmed, yes, we're going to pump, but nobody was sure. And then this one started pumping, right? Again, I'm confusing myself and I'm confusing you as well because I'm looking at it at different time zones. That's much better. I think, yeah, 1 week would be much better. So here you can see how the confirmation started. So you can see here, there was no confirmation. This one was indecisive. This one said bearish. So the signal was still bearish. And then this one came in to confirm. And then there was a massive battle until we actually started confirming, right? So we know that this zone here, we spent almost a month here deciding what to do. And then we broke through. And then we got that confirmation. And then it was just confirmation after confirmation, confirmation after confirmation. We did that. we can go back in time and you can see the same kind of story, same kind of scenario, even in this area. And if you look back, you can see it again in this area, how we hit that bottom and then we start coming in battling, and then we kind of confirmed around this particular point and we started shooting back up. We don't care how high it goes. We just want to buy low. So right now, based on the scenario we did, and of course the time is gone now because we did that scenario. This was hilarious. We did it back here somewhere. I remember it was back here somewhere. So the data is not going to be 100%. I think it was from here to here we did. Yeah, I think it was from here to here. And then when we placed this scenario, it actually came up to here. But again, the data is changing now, guys. So now we're moving all the way to 2024. So this data isn't going to be sufficient, but it's good enough anyway. It doesn't matter, right? So based on that, I've got this weird feeling that we're going to start moving around September, and I'm going to take you to another chart. Actually, this chart doesn't work for me. I'm doing this live, guys. So yeah, any mistakes, forgive me. But the point is end of the day, these are massive, massive charts. These are charts that we've had from donkey's time. Let's see. Yeah, we've had this for donkey's time. But let's do this here. Yeah, this activated properly, accurately. I'm gonna switch this off. I just don't need this. Right. So yeah, this was a hypothetical thing we did. Let's take it from the bottom here to the top here, and then move this across. Let's just move this across. Let's just say our bottom comes into approximately here somewhere. We're just going to place it here. We're just going to say this would be our bottom. According to this, if this was our bottom, you can see how this August, and I talked about this as well, how like late August to probably early September or even end of September, how we can see this area forming. And this was kind of similar pattern here. Again, I'm going off the old stuff. I got to go back to the video. If you want me to go and find the video, I can do this. But the point is, it doesn't matter. Right now, what we're looking at is this particular pattern here. Right? And I'm going to switch the drawings back on as well, so you will be able to see exactly what's going on. So the patterns we're seeing, right? The patterns we're seeing are some of the most beautiful patterns. Again, I've got to find it. All right, let's do this here. Let's do this from here, for example. I want to do it from here. So let's do this from here. Let's just look at these patterns here. Right, or even here, for example, doesn't matter, right? And what you're seeing is the point that we might come and test these areas and break out. How this particular zone here, so it doesn't matter where we put it, right? But this particular zone here is the September, and I just did it in front of you. I'm just going off the thing because there's a lot of stuff going on. September is a very key thing because for me it keeps on coming up, doesn't matter how I do, what kind of analysis I do, it's always going to be September. So I'm just trying to figure out why September. Let me read some comments. Give us more info. So I have some SOL in my HODL wallet. Mark Petty says, sorry. So I have some SOL in my HODL wallet, but with all the FUD coming out about Solana and that whale that gets liquidated at the price of 223, what are your thoughts on where SOL can go down to? For me, SOL, or any cryptocurrency, I said the other day as well, I think I said it on Discord as well. I said, look, whatever the price is, just, you know, if you are going to be hodling these and you are bullish on this, right, you should be looking at 50% below where it is right now. Your buy should be 50% below where it is right now. Because one of the things that you have to understand, and I'll show you this right now, I'm going to demonstrate this right now as well. And we'll do it on the chart, so it's so much more easier. And I'm going to take the drawing off just so you can understand exactly what's going on. So you see this candle here, all right? If you look carefully how we went from 20, well, even I'm struggling. Right, let's do this here. Right, so if you look here, it went from $27,000 all the way to $17,000. That was a $10,000 drop. So when you're looking at 27,000 and going to 17, that's like almost close to like 33%, if I'm wrong, right? Or correct me if I'm wrong, right? But the point is, it's about 33%. So we did dump 33%. Now, from where we are right now, 50% is actually a very small number. So say, for example, we're at 20,000 today. If we go to, say, 10,000 or maybe even 8,000 or maybe even 13,000, so just say 13,000, for example, that will give you about another 35, 40%, right? Say 45% possibly. But what you notice is the alts, they dump faster even further. So I'm expecting alts to do at least 50% dump and then a quick recovery. Because when BTC does a 5% recovery, you'll notice that alts do 10%, 15%, 20%. So the pumps are higher on the alts. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I mean, for me, all my alts are at a significantly low level. Again, today, when we talk about it, we may want to start thinking about the 13K level. So we might want to look at the difference between there. If it's going to be a 25% or a 30%, we need to readjust. Last week, I did say it's going to be 50%, and we hit that 50% technically, right? Or we are going to. But this week, I would say adjust it to about 30% below whatever current price is. Again, I'm not looking at any of the alts, because what we'll notice is once BTC comes down, everyone's going to jump into BTC, pump BTC. And then once we make enough profits in BTC, we're going to start shifting into alts. I'm not telling you to wait for that. I'm saying just wait for BTC to hit the true bottom. Once we have a true bottom in, we have a confirmation that the bottom was in, and now we're bullish again. We know where market has reset. It's time to enter. It's time to be in the market, similar like how we entered back in 2019. You know, down here, how we entered, how we pumped all the way up to here. It didn't make a difference when we dumped here. Those are the buys that you want to be looking at, because you can take risk. You see, the risk here was very minimal. We bought here, we pumped all the way up here. We didn't even sell. We came down here, but it did not actually invalidate our buys. We were still in profit. And then from here, we just continued. We just rebought, stacked more, continued forward. And that's when we started picking up as many alts as possible, because this was more like a confirmation. It's like, okay, we went up, we came down, we bounced, we're ready to roll. And then we played this market, right? So we bought our alts around this particular zone here, or around here basically. So this area here, we bought all our alts, right? But we needed a confirmation. We needed to know that the 2017 market was over, and we knew that that bottom was in around here, right? We can't be 100%, but we know it was off around here. And then we can see this confirmation started to come in. As soon as the confirmation came in, we're ready to roll again. So that's how you should be looking at certain stuff. Also, this chat is bugged. So Zimmerman 2209 says, how long have you been trading crypto? Since 2015, so not long actually. I'm a baby in this industry. I have no idea. I usually come online and just talk a whole bunch of nonsense. I don't even know why these guys follow me or listen to me or come and watch my show, but yeah, that's what I do. I just come and talk a whole bunch of nonsense. Do you know why I talk that? Because I'm not here for viewers. I'm not here for subscribers. I'm not here to make money off you. I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm not here to pump anything. I don't give a damn about anything. I'm here just to talk my mind. So that's what I do. And, you know, that's what I've been doing for a very long time. You know, I've been shafted a few times in this market and everything, but now I'll just come in and just talk whenever I want. I don't have a schedule. I don't have a timetable. You'll not find me on a specific time every day. I won't edit any videos. What you see is what you get. So yeah, I'm just straight up there. Also, I have a Discord server. Ask me any questions there. I do answer. I'm not like people who set up a server just to get as many people as possible so they can pump their content. Again, I'm not interested in the content. Does that make sense to you? I'll tell you what, let me put it this way, right? A true cryptocurrency influencer, or a true cryptocurrency hodler, or a true cryptocurrency fanatic will never ever disclose how many Bitcoin he has. So you know those channels who come and show you, I've got $1 million trade. Yeah, he's made $1 million. He's doing $1 million trade probably with $10,000. If he's doing a 10x on a $10,000, yeah, $1 million. He's probably doing it with the user's referral money or something like this. So again, be very, very careful what you see, who you follow, what you look at, you know, because most of the people out there, that's their earning, that's their bread and butter. So understand this. And I have no disrespect towards them. If there's someone's got 1 million subscribers or 1 billion subscribers, I don't care. That's his bread and butter. But what he's showing you, just take it with a pinch of salt, because he wouldn't be doing that in the first place if he was, do you know what I mean? Be very cautious, because I've seen a lot of people quickly change. I've seen, you know, taxi drivers, right, who are now boasting out their Lambos and everything. I'm like, seriously? That just says you didn't have anything to start with, and now that you got it, you just don't know what to do with it. You don't expose your crypto. The other day, someone came in to my shop, and they overheard me talking to someone about taxes and whatnot and this and that, and crypto taxes. So this person came up to me and says, "Oh, you do crypto?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do YouTube and this and that." And he's now telling me how many Bitcoin he's got, how many Ethereum he's got, how many this he's got. I'm thinking to myself, like, I didn't ask you, dude. If you're a true crypto guy, you should never ever be talking. I don't believe a word you're telling me now. You know what I mean? I just don't believe a word you're telling me. And trust me, his calculation was billions. I'm thinking, what the hell are you doing here? What are you doing with me? It doesn't make any sense. So again, true cryptocurrency lovers or fanatics or true cryptocurrency owners, the guys who own the most amount of crypto, will never ever tell you how many cryptos they own. Never, never, not even on any channel. For you give them $1 billion, they're still not going to do it, right? The ones that don't have anything, the ones that need it, the ones that crave it, they come to you. So that's what happens, right? And I don't crave any, I can tell you this much. Mark, pity. And what would you do if you were hodling Sol? So yes, I am hodling a little bit of Sol, but Mark, this one gets really good. So remember way back in the days when I announced it as well, that when Solana came out, I actually picked up Solana for $1. Give me a sec. I don't want to advertise them. So when Solana came out, I picked up Solana for $1. So even if Solana crashes down all the way down to nothing, I'm still in profit technically right now. However, most of the profit that I made, I actually cashed out my initial investment a long time back. So I have zero investment into Solana right now. So if it goes down, it goes down. I don't really care. All I'm going to do is reset. So the sum of the profit that I took out from Solana during the bull run, I'm going to use that to buy some more. So my portfolio is going to grow even more. Again, remember, I'm not doing it for the money. It's not about the money. I don't need this as my bread and butter, right? I don't need crypto investments or crypto profits or crypto anything for me to pay for my bills. No. Those days are gone. Right now, all I do is stash as many as I can. That's the rule here. The rule here is how many more can I accumulate? Forget the money. Money comes, money goes. Your fiat currency changes its rate every single day. Foreign currency changes every single second. So let's not talk about that, right? A BTC today is showing at what, $20,000? It could show up as $10,000. But that's because the FX rate is changed. It has nothing to do with actually BTC being $20,000. One BTC is only worth one BTC, full stop. Right? Your currency, your fiat currency that you have in your country is what is getting valued and devalued in XYZ, right? So that's where the market plays, right? So that's how I see it. End of the day, you know, for me, it's not about whether the what you call this, it's $20,000 or $50,000. It's more like how many do I have or how many can I have? You know, the strategy I told you, when we bought down here, we bought an XYZ amount. Just for the sake of this video, we say we bought one here. If we sold it down here, we made all that money, but we didn't give a damn about the money. We held that money to buy the dip here, and our dip buys us 3 times more. Hold on, we just increased our portfolio of the asset, not the money. Money wise, we're down, right? So it's all about picking up as much as possible. Again, remember my strategy about taking profits. I've got 2-3 videos out there. I don't want to go repeat myself, but guys, remember the number one rule. When you're trading with other altcoins and something that you don't want to be holding for a long time, right? Or you want to make a quick amount of money, take your initial investment out and some as soon as you can when the markets are bullish. So if you put $1,000 in, you made $3,000, take $1,000 out, take another 1,000 and go and treat yourself and leave the 1,000. Who cares? You don't lose anything. That's the strategy. You'll never lose money that way. You'll always be in a zero investment position. You'll always be in a calm and collective way, like me, while everybody else is crying and sweating, probably because of summer. But the point is, everyone's sweating out there. Oh, did you see the crash? Did you see the crash? What crash? I'm chilled, relaxed. What crash? I'm just getting on with my day. I'm ready to buy the next round. That's how we do this, right? So, you know, end of the day, you got to really understand what this market wants to do with you. Let's see what else. Who else is? So I'm just going through these guys. I'm just going through this. Let's see. Okay. Hodling souls. So you reckon regardless of stock market ETC, we should start to move up? What if stock market hasn't bottomed by then? bro, KR, you need to focus on one thing. Are you a stock guy? If you are, go and stay in your stocks. Don't come to crypto. And if you're a crypto guy, don't look at stocks. It's very simple. Make your mind up whether you are a fiat, all right, or fake paper stocks, or you're a real digital assets. Whatever you are, make your mind up. Because remember one thing about digital assets. If you own, just for the sake of Solana, let's say this, right? You own 1,000 Solana. You bought it at $100 per Solana. And say, for example, you got 100 Solana. Well, today when the market crashed, you still have your 100 Solana. When the stock market crashes, do you have your stock? Possibly not. You get wiped out. If a company goes bust, you lose everything. You are literally giving money to another company to grow. That's what you're doing. That's what a stock is. Just a piece of paper saying that you owe this much. And then the guy goes and says, do you know what? I'm going to make some more convertible notes and I'm going to do some more stocks. I'm going to make more. They just keep on printing more and more stocks. The more they print, the more valuation they have. I mean, there's a limit to stupidity. Yes, I don't mind doing stocks for a quick cash, right? But the point is I don't look at that to be the all be it. It's not. Trust me, it's not. Stock is nothing. Companies come, companies go. Company stocks fly up when the profit announcement is made. Company crash if they show some loss. Is that what you want to trade in? If that is, bro, you're looking at the wrong channel. You know that. I would love to. Listen, there is some things I don't mind doing stocks, but we cannot keep on comparing stock market, fiat market, the banks, the Federal Reserve to crypto. Crypto was not designed for this. Crypto, the whole purpose of it was not this. Somebody mentioned the other day, and actually you sent me that tweet. Someone tweeted, they said, it's about belief. And my response to that email was, it's your belief, it's my belief, it's what the entire market believes, it's what everybody believes. That's what crypto was based on. It's a belief. It started off belief. Crypto started off a very simple belief that we could change this financial market and we could create new, fresh money. That's what this was based on. This was the first candle that was printed on belief. This was the first candle that was created on belief. Remember this. We believe that this is going to change the current situation. This is going to give freedom to people. This is going to give control back to people's money. That's what this was built on. That's the first candle you can see. Yes, this is not when we started crypto. BTC was officially launched on the 3rd of January 2009. Officially launched. It was pre-mined before, mined by Satoshi Nakamoto from 2008. It was under development from 2007. None of that matters. This was officially the first candle based on belief. And look what belief did to us. Look where belief got us today. I mean, just look at it. Belief took us from this one candle to here. Is there anything to do with stocks here? Did we have to form a company? Did we have to go and register this company? Did we have to go and bribe a few people to get our stocks onto the stock market, the FTSE, the S&P 500 or whatever? Did we do any of this? No. Belief. We gave it to people and we said belief. All on belief. That's what this is, right? This is not stock market. This is not money. Money can't be printed on belief. Money is printed on debt. The more debt I give you, the more money I can print under your name. Your child is born in a hospital somewhere and you get a birth certificate. I can take a bond on that child's name and that prints more money. The current situation with the money, all the printing will never stop unless they change the way money works. Because currently money works in only one way. You will always have a debt, and the idea is that debt can never be paid. So every time you're closer, you'll have more debt, and that's how you move money. That's the whole idea of money. Where this created, it says no. How about we have a system which is fixed, that over time you get less and less, and after a certain amount of time, that's it. So we know there will never be more than 21 million coins. And we know every 4 years the halvening reduces the supply. The effort is the same, if not even more. You are putting more effort to get less. And that's what gives us the value. The value, it comes from us, from our belief. If I believe it's worth $100,000, and if you believe it's worth $100,000 and you agree to pay me, we have $100,000 Bitcoin. That's because we believe. I hope that makes sense. I don't want to go. Right. I know you say you're not bothered about the stock market, but it's clear it's all correlated, never correlated. Right. Let's go to the next one. Mark says, PS, maybe you already said it and I missed it when you were BTC bottom at what price? I believe BTC has a potential. So Mark, this is just my hypothetical analysis basically, and I have mentioned this based on this, right? So looking at this particular area, if we go to the 5-day moving average, we see that how this particular area here, this 13,800, or the top of this support zone, actually flashes that there's a potential that we could actually come and check this area. However, be cautious that in the next few weeks, as this candle has become a indecisive candle and we're bouncing on these support areas, you can see there's nothing there, but we might start seeing a bit of a pattern here where we go up and down a little bit, up and down a little bit. I wouldn't be too bothered if it does go up and down. What we're looking for is these candles to be invalidated. So if we did get a candle that goes above this next week, brilliant, I'm okay with that. But if we get stuck halfway and come back down again, we've got a problem, right? Because we've just created a new resistance. Because remember, the top of each candle is a resistance zone. The top of each candle is a resistance zone. That bottom area here is a resistance zone, is a support zone as well. So on the way down is a resistance zone, on the way up is a support zone, right? So we know that these candles here have created a particular area and we have to invalidate this in order to move that. So if we see a candle going up here, absolutely fine. If we see a candle coming halfway down here, we've got a problem. We got a problem. So we need to see this candle or this whole zone here, this area here, to be completely obliterated, this particular zone here. And I'll make it a different color just so we can all understand what's going on. I'm going to fill it white just so we can all see what's going on. Boom. So this area here has to fill up. We need to invalidate this. We need to invalidate this in order for us to stay bullish, right? Stock market, I don't care. Stock market is due for a crash. It needs to crash. It has to crash. If it doesn't crash, it won't reset the money. We need the market to crash. We need BTC to crash. We need it to go all the way down to our certain levels. If this is a probability, then we need to also account for this probability and say that's a probability. However, I didn't put all my eggs in one basket. I didn't bet this as my absolute bottom. I said the probability starts from here. I said I'm going to gamble, right? I'm going to start buying in. I started dollar cost averaging here. I'm going to try and dollar cost average here. Basically, these are orders that are already set up on an exchange. Two of this line was set up. These two lines were set up last year. This one especially was last year. Then this one came in a little later. And then recently, a couple of months ago, we set this line up and we set this line up. Again, I've shared my charts with everybody. I've given all the data. I've said, look, guys, this is my buy zone. Whether it comes or not, it's a different story, but that's how my strategy starts. This is when I start dollar cost averaging in. Because if you remember, a lot of guys were talking about DCAing here. I said, guys, just be patient, be patient, be patient. Why? Because we didn't come to the target. Now that we've come to the target, the buy order is activated, our actual DCA has already activated as well. But what are we DCAing? We're doing Ethereum, we're doing BTC, we're doing Binance, we're doing Solana, we're doing Avalanche, we're doing Cardano, for example, many other coins as well. But the point is we're trying to stick to the big boys as much as possible. Right, our highest percentage is going into the BTC. If we're doing 90% on BTC, we're doing 5% on Ethereum, 5% on BNB, and so on and so forth. Right, we don't want to go too heavy onto the alt yet, because once the bottom is in, then we will see how much the alts drive down, and then we pick up the alts as well, and we want to move. We don't want to be playing with the trend. So we know this trend is down. We buy. We know there's a possibility we go down even further. We don't want that. If we have a BTC trend reversal and a BTC coming to 50K, for example, tomorrow, and if it's showing us that it's going to go to 100K, the trend has reversed, I would rather buy at a 50K knowing the market's going up, because the trend is my friend. I don't want to be an enemy to the trend. Very simple, right? So my particular zone would be the in the bottom is potential and everything is flashing. That's the only area where we have some support, is this 13,800. But I said to everybody, I said, just be cautious, stick around this area to be safe if you really want to get one, or wait. Right. Amy says, cause the skill pays the bills. Yes, my brother, skills absolutely pays the bill. And trust me, for me, I work every day. I work in a normal job as well to try and pay my bills. And I work hard. I work in many things. I do many different things, to pay my bills. But when it comes to crypto, that's not the purpose. The purpose is to accumulate as much as possible, because this is a kind of a phenomenon. Think about it this way, right? Crypto, new money, new currency, monopoly money, whatever you want to call it, right? Magic money. So many people have called it so many different things. It's new for us, and we're still here in the early stages. Think about that. This is a baby. The stock market's been around for 400 years. Cryptocurrency's only been around for what, 12, 13 years. Think about that. We are at the forefront of an emerging asset class. Think about it this way, or a commodity class, whatever you want to call it. But we are at the forefront. This is a baby. And I don't want to miss those opportunities. But one thing we also know, during these times, we are the most volatile. And volatility makes you money. Because when you have something that is volatile, it means it's alive, it's kicking. When something doesn't move, it's stagnant, it's dead. Get out. It's dead. When you buy your Apple stock and you bought it for $100 a piece and it stays $100 for the next 2 years, that's a dead stock. That's a dead stock, in my opinion. When cryptocurrency moves 5%, 10%, 15% a day, that's live. When you're looking at S&P 500 moving 0.5%, moving 2%, moving 3%, show me the bloody correlation. There isn't one. Zimmerman says, loving your talk. Awesome, my brother. Thank you very much. I'm just being me, man. That's just how I am. I meant in my position, I didn't buy at one. No worries, bro. Listen, it's coming. Solana currently what? It's about $20 or something like this. I don't know, something like this. I saw $20, $24. I can't remember what it was. I'm expecting 50% cheaper. So let me see. So currently sitting at 24 happy days. But if you look carefully, wow, look at this, beautiful, right? So we've come to this area here again. Remember, BTC is currently trending down, so are these. Looks a bit bullish, similar at BTC, but if BTC collapses, then you can see you could also get Solana for approximately $13. You can get Solana for approximately $13 a piece as well. Why wouldn't you have that? And again, look at this 21 and 100-day moving average where the death crosses happen. Again, we don't have enough data here because it's a fresh coin. It's emerging coin. It's just come out recently as in 2019, 2018, 2019 actually, 2020, my bad, 2020. But the point is it's a very fresh coins. But even then, we've got this indication that if we do collapse, you can see that we break through this, then there's no other area we're going to come and find support around this zone here. And if we collapse any further, then yeah, we can even get it for $4. My God, I'll definitely buy it for $4. $4 it is. I'll probably even put a buy order right now, but $4. But yeah, we can possibly get Solana for 3K. So let's see what happens. Why do you think 13K could be the bottom, and how did you know the last bottom before the bull run? I didn't know the bottom. I never know the bottom. Nobody can know the bottom. We don't have a crystal ball. If anybody says they predicted something and they exactly as predicted or exactly as something happened, then they're lying to you. They're lying to you. The patterns is what we're looking at. So for example, when we're looking at BTC, right? So let's go to BTC. And remember, I use BTC as my biggest indicator than anything else, right? BTC is my indicator, by the way. BTC is my indicator. So here's BTC, right? So we're on BTC right now. And what you notice is what I'm about to do. You'll notice this. You're going to love this one, right? So for example, this is the top. And hold on, my bad. Let's get this one, right? So this was the top, right? So just say this was the top, or this was the top, right? So this was the top, and we just want to go to the bottom that we had here, this bottom here. That's all we've done. We just want to go to this bottom here. And we see this area here and we're like, okay, we see something funny happening here. And then we put a line here, very simple, just here. And then we do this. And what we notice is we have a flag, because we can move this forward right there. Look at that, we have a bear flag. Now what a bear flag does is if it's done this particular thing, then what it will do is exact same thing on this area here. And look, we don't make this thing up. This is what a bear flag does, and this is exactly what the bear flag did. So the bear flag from the top to the bottom, it accurately says that's where we're going to come. But when it comes there, does that mean that's it? Absolute, this is it? This is the end? No, right? Then we start looking at the trend, we start looking at the structure, and we start saying, okay, now that we've done this, what are we going to do next, right? So again, we can do the same thing. We can take one of these. We can take one of these and we can just put one here because that's where our structure is, right? And we can see our trend line is down here, and we take this and we do this. And now what do we see? That the potential for us to go lower, 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 lower. And even here, this is just me putting it there. I don't have to. I mean, how about this? Let's do it differently. So just so that you guys don't think that something else fishy is going on here. So this is our trend. This is our trend line. And we can come all the way down here, for example. It doesn't make any difference. But the idea is that will make you identify what the potential is. So let's change this, right? So what you can see here is we're coming down, we're going to bounce around here, we're going to bounce around here, but this top area, these levels here, as we progress down, these are going to be lower price, and each lower price means that the potential is higher. And also we're going to have this cross line here. So do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to delete some of this just to kind of show you. That would really, because I know there's a lot of lines here confusing the life out of everybody. Don't worry, I can bring it back again. All right, so when we come down, right, what was going to happen is these areas here, this area here, this particular area here, right, will become our resistance. So we know that when we do crazy stuff like this, we go down here, we test, we come back here, and guess what? We've got a resistance because of this area here. So we know that we're going to face some resistance. If we cross over, then we know that we've got the next resistance here. But if we get rejected, we know we're coming back down here, and so forth. And we can follow this. But if we stay in this box, then that means we're going to constantly, hold on, give me a second. So if we stay in this box, right, the pattern we could potentially play is this, keep on doing this, right? And that's why I think this is absolutely possible for, you know, how the market's working, and also where we are right now. So for example, our potential is 13, but that's because of this particular area here, where we can see that we have so much data here basically showing us that there was support, there was significant traffic around here. This could be potential area for us to start reversing. But the question is, does this happen in one day? No, it could take weeks, it could take months, right? If it happened too quickly, I'll be concerned, because then the potential is higher for us to go down even more. You know, when we look at the 105 days, that's approximately 3 months. If we look at what month we're in month number 6 right now. Again, it indicates month number 6. So everything, you know, we're saying like, look, guys, it could take a month, 2 months, 3 months. But if it happened suddenly, if we suddenly got something that just said, let me show you. So that just went like this. I'm going to be really worried, because that is too chaotic. It's not sustainable when we start looking at things like this, because if we have a move like that, then the next move could be like that. That's dangerous. We don't want this. We want to be moving forward with structure, right? And when we're talking about structure, we want to create these zones like this before we do something like this. You know, or we're going to go like this and create something like this before we come down like this, or before we go like this. Why? Because these areas are our support zones. These areas will become our support zones as we progress along. As we break above, these become our support zones, because we've had a lot of traffic. And this is exactly what is reflected in this particular zone here, if that makes sense. So let's move over to the next one. And my battery's dying. Let's see what's going on. Mark says Okay, going to 24K this Friday. Dennis says, also my brother, yes, we've talked about this on Discord actually yesterday. So on the Discord server, we said that it could potentially go up to 25K, but it absolutely means nothing. The sole reason we said that, and it's actually quite interesting. So if you look at this particular zone here, and I'm going to move it to a daily, so it makes more sense to you. And I'm going to switch off this. Now leave. Yeah, okay, I'll leave EMA. I don't want to leave. Normally, I don't want to do EMA. Okay, but anyway, let's just do moving average, right? And also, let me get rid of all of this, because we don't need them, right? We just have one indicator here, the 21-day moving average, and you can see this is at the $25,500 level, or $25,500 level. And what we're saying is basically, look, guys, there is a potential that we could pump all the way up to here. If we can cross over, absolutely fine. But if we get rejected here, then we're coming back down again. Look, you know, we're kissing around this area. We come here, we attempted, we failed. So what's going to happen? We're going to come down even further. So the moves are going to be bigger. These 5K, 10K moves are going to be absolutely nothing until the steam runs out. So don't fall for the trap. Wait for the confirmations. Very, very important. KR says, wow, what a brilliant explanation. I hope so. People don't care about the monthly candle. And this month, it has last month for down candles. Next month starts up candles. Maybe, Dennis, maybe. The point is it's not, look, when we're looking at the monthly candle, we're not looking at what's happening today for the monthly, my friend. So you've clearly been spending too much time on either 4 hourly, maybe the 8 hourly, or let's see, maybe the 8 hourly candles, or maybe the 12 hourly candles, or let's see, 6 hours. Oh, sorry, 6 hours. This is the 8 hours. And remember, the 21 is still on. Or maybe you've been spending time on the 12 hours. Some people do that. It's absolutely fine. Yeah, 12 hours, or maybe even a daily. Now, the problem with spending time on this particular time frame is this time frame is not used to do forecast. I don't do daily trades. I'm not trying to be your average Joe on YouTube. And when I say average, I mean coming on every day, 8 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m. He's on time. That's your average Joe. Your average Joe's has a timetable. He needs to go to work. He needs to feed the family. So that's your average Joe. I'm not your average Joe. I'm not trading. I'm not hyping. Guys, sign up below. Got $1,000 link. You know, yeah, you can use that. You get $3,000 bonus, $5,000. Trust me, I have those too. Trust me, I have those links too, but you'll never hear me talk about them. It's up to you. I'm not here for that. Does that make sense? I'm not here for that. So, pretty crazy. But remember, your 1 day, your 12 hours, your 8 hours, your 4 hours, your 6 hours, your 30, 40, whatever. Those are for trading sessions. If you're a trader, if you're a daily trader, or if you're a weekly trader, right, on a shorter time period, you need things less than a week. Right? If you're trading on a day session, for example, 8 hours, well, you need to be looking at a few hours below that. If you're doing an 8-hour session, you need to be looking at your 6 hours, your 4 hours, your 2 hours, your 1 hour, those candles. Those are your daily sessions. If you're only looking at weekly, right, you're doing a weekly trade, then you look at every other time other than the week, because the week hasn't completed for you. You can't base it on what happens previous week. And when you're talking about month goes up, you know, like next month is going to be bullish. Yes, great. Next month could be bullish. Absolutely. Because look, we've had all of this red again on our videos here. Last Monday, we talked about it. We said, guys, we've had all of these reds. We have all of these reds. We could easily expect to see some greens. We could easily expect to see some greens. Right? So when we see those greens, we will see those greens. We've had all of these reds here. For example, these reds here, these are monthly reds. We could expect to see a bullish month. Absolutely fine. No harm at all. We can see 2 bullish months. Absolutely no problem. But does that mean it's the end? That's the question here. The question here is we're looking for confirmation. We're looking for a confirmation to the point where even on a daily, even on an hourly, do we have a confirmation to tell us that this is it? So far, we're just seeing us hugging this line here. We're hugging this line here. What happens when we miss the hug? Well, look, we calm down. So be very cautious when you're trading these time zones. When you're not looking at these higher time frames, be very cautious. For me, when I'm talking about monthly, I'm not talking about these 21 or anything like this. None of this matters, right? When I'm looking at monthly candles, 3-month candle, 6-month candle, I'm just looking at the structure to see, okay, where are we now? What kind of patterns have we played in the past? I mean, for example, when we go to a 3-month, right, what kind of patterns have we played so far? So we're looking at this, you know, this structure here. Let me switch off something. Give me a second. Because these are very important that you also understand. Here we are. So when we're looking at all of these areas here, right, what kind of patterns are we seeing? How many months bullish were we? How many months bearish were we? Those are the stuff we're looking at, you know. And, you know, for me, I don't usually look at 3 months. I'm more into a 6 months. I do like the 6 months because it gives me this clear picture of how the market structure played, how these massive moves happened in the beginning, how we were super bullish, how we were bearish. So we can see all the bull cycles and the bear cycles at a glance. It gets even better when we want to see the facts. We stop looking at the candles and we start looking at the lines. These give us an absolute fact, absolute bottom, absolute top, absolute bottom. We can never miss those. Those are the data we're looking for. So I hope this kind of helps. Obviously, we're not here to judge anybody, each one to themselves. But ultimately, you got to understand, what are we here for? What am I here for? Am I here for, like the average Joe, every single day, come on time, grow the community, grow the subscribers, grow my wealth, grow my money, get a nice fat check from Google? Is that what I'm here for? No, I'm against Google. Google hates me. They will ban me. They've cursed me so many times. They try to block me so many times. I don't care. That's why. Right. What's next? Dennis, I hope you don't mind, right? I'm just being me. Look, I'm just one of those. I'm a very straight up guy. I'm a no nonsense guy. I don't give a damn. End of the day, I'm just me. I always say, I do me, you do you. End of the day, whatever makes sense for you. But be happy. That's the most important thing. Don't be sad. End of the day, stay calm. That's the most important thing. Here, I just try and keep people calm. They had a lot of belief in Luna too. Who did, bro? That's the question. Who had belief in Luna? In fact, if you go back to one of my videos, maybe last year somewhere, or maybe year before that, I can't remember. If you go back to one of my videos, I talked about the problem. I said Luna has a clear problem. Luna being able to convert into USD, it's fine. But USD being able to convert back to Luna is a problem. So if the system was one way, there is no problem. The Luna is sustainable, because it doesn't matter. When one currency gets impacted, the other doesn't. But when you give people the opportunity and a key to literally go and manipulate the system by, for example, buying Luna for cheap, selling it for higher, creating USD, and then dumping the market, coming back again and buying more Luna, you're creating more and more Luna. The problem was already there, right? The problem was already there. So who believed in it? Nobody did, right? I mean, if people believed in it, then that's what I say. I believe in something, you believe in something, and they believe in something. So if people believed in it and those people fall in the they category, then unfortunately they're just a bunch of sheeps. If they can't understand what the market shows you, if they can't understand what the project is showing you, they got a problem. Of course, now Fat Man and everybody comes out and gives out more information. Great. Am I reading it? No, it's boring. Why would I read it? Because I've already identified the problem. I said Luna has a problem. Luna, I will be bullish if Luna does this. If Luna doesn't do this, I'm not going to be bullish. Of course, I was starting to be bullish when Luna printed its USD. Everything looked great. But there was massive manipulation. So I was a bit cautious. But at the same time, even being cautious, none of that mattered. When I saw the market structure change, I started dumping my Luna, I started dumping everything, right? Whatever I had, I said, and I announced it publicly to this channel, to all my viewers. I clearly said, guys, I'm selling all my owns and going into USD. I'm going to just sit there. I mentioned it over and over again. I said, I don't care what the market says. I don't care who says what. I know when to be bullish, and this is not the time to be bullish. And I'm a bull. So I don't know what to say. Luna 3.0, yeah, good luck. Trust me, I'll be honest with you. There's a lot of scam projects coming out. I won't be surprised if the team is there, because once they nail it, they're the same group of people. They create all the successful projects. You do know that they're all involved. Oh, media, this, that, whatever. They're all involved. It's just what part do you play? That's what it is. They're all involved. What Luna is? Let's go. Joke, I knew that. Me too. Mark Pitty says, I like the way people that don't own any crypto are mocking me the past week. How's your crypto doing? Already panicking, lol. It's fine. This is when you reply back to them. If people come up to you and start taking a piss out of you, excuse my language, but the point is what you do then is you get a lot of people, oh, do you know it crashed and this and that. You say, well, where were you when it was pumping? You didn't tell me when it was pumping. Just say that. You didn't tell me when it was pumping. You didn't call me when it was pumping. Where were you then? Now it's dumping. I'm buying more. I've already sold. I'm buying. Are you buying any? Ask those questions and watch what happens, because it's the same story. The no coiners are the biggest mouths out there. As I said to you, people who own crypto genuinely, the real crypto fanatics, will never ever mention their crypto to you. Never. The no coiners, the one with nothing, they'll always come and boast. Oh, it's this, it's that. I've got this, I've got that. You got this, you got that. That's what it's all about. The bling, it's all about the flex, it's all about showing off, it's all about being the better person than you. You are the low, you are the scum, you're the one who bought crypto. How is your crypto doing? You guys lost money, you guys are pathetic. That's how it is. But a true believer, a true cryptocurrency fanatic will never ever take that to heart. In fact, he'll shrug it off. He's like, yep, what can we do? It's okay. Because he's a real guy. He's a genuine guy, that's why. You know what? I'm not joking. I've got 5% left on this. Actually, do you know what? I can bypass this. Give me a second, guys. So we're going to leave it on this chart. Let's not bring any more charts out, because if I don't bring charts out, then I can actually see the chats, because I'm trying to read the chats and see what's going on. Right, let's kill this. Right. Right. Let's see what was going on. Joke. Okay, so Dennis was Mark was joking with Dennis. Dennis knows. Awesome. Say something about e-gold. Bubble says say something about e-gold. Bubble, same story, my brother. Okay, we'll show you some e-gold anyway, because the same story with e-gold. When we're looking at the market, we need to understand the market for its entirety. When we're looking at this, for example, and you can see this is Bitcoin, US dollar, this is the index 5-day chart. I want you to just look at this total market cap. What do you see? The exact same thing. Now, if I take you to eGold, for example, right, you will see the exact same thing. So believe me, when I say that the entire market does the same thing as BTC, I'm not joking. You have one BTC and you have 19 or 20,000 coins, and they all react the same way. So we know that now that BTC is doing whatever it's doing and it's about to hit the true bottom, that I believe, or whoever believes, the point is there's going to be a true bottom. Once we have that, we will start seeing accumulation phase start. Once the accumulation phase starts, we're going to be in that accumulation for some time, and then we're going to start moving. As for like eGold, when we're looking at these things, we can't even, this is how bad it is, right? Normally I would put a Fibonacci here and say, oh, look, I think the Fibonacci is this, Fibonacci is that. Right now, I wouldn't even dare to put a Fibonacci, because look, we fell below this. We are currently around here somewhere, right? But look at this. If you look carefully, you will notice that the next support is approximately here, around this zone here. Actually, I should do a zone. Let me do a zone. The next support is approximately in this particular zone here, right? And then what we have is the following support is approximately in this zone. So let me do another zone here, in this zone here. I mean, look at that. So the expectation is the eGold can actually drop all the way down to possibly even $22. And guess what? If it doesn't hold any of this during the actual bloodbath, because there's a bloodbath remaining, when that happens, then the potential changes, and it actually can even come here. And we've seen how even Ethereum couldn't hold its previous high. Ethereum couldn't hold its 2017 high, and you think any of this is going to be any significant? No, it's not. They can also come down. There are coins which can come down 99.99%, not bearish at all. It's just a market reset. This is when people have started to sell. People who didn't sell here start selling here. They panic and everything. Smart money start buying. Smart money start buying and hodling. This is when, for example, you could have bought $1,000 here, or you can buy $100 here, and you get the same amount of coins. Because remember what I say, it's not about the money. I don't give a damn about how much it costs. What I care about is how many I can accumulate. So if I can get 100 coins here for $1,000, and I can now buy the same 100 coins here for $100, well, I'm going to choose my $100 over $1,000 for the 100 coins. That's how I work. Right, let me bring the chat back again, guys. Sorry. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. So just be patient. On Discord, I will punch out some stuff if I see like a complete reversal, or if I see any kind of an update, anything like, even tomorrow, if we start becoming bullish, I will announce that, guys. Remember, on Discord, I will announce that. That's what I'm there for, right? So I will definitely let you know there. Mark says, what I meant about the FUD around Sol and the protocol, there is a whale that owns about 95% of all the liquidity, but gets busted at 22.3 Sol price, and the chain does not have enough liquidity. Okay, let's talk about liquidity and whatnot. This is pretty crazy. Okay. First of all, whoever's trading this Solana, he's definitely trading it on an exchange or whatnot, maybe, possibly. If one person owns 95% Solana, that's a red flag. Number one, I would say get the fuck out, leave and never come back. Solana can go to hell. However, we know the Solana number of coins available on the market are fairly distributed and not one person owns 95%. However, if somebody has shorted or probably even longed it, then the exchange is responsible for providing. Now, if the exchange can't provide 95% of the value of the Solana, remember, it's not the Solana, because you can't take Solana off people to give it. But if the exchanges, they will find a way. They will pay in BTC, Ethereum, they will pay in USD, whatever. They will pay the value. The house will pay. When you go into somewhere and you bet, they have to pay. They will pay. So don't panic. I'm not fussed about any of that. The other day, someone was talking about how Solana wanted to vote against this particular whale you're talking about. And I said, and they said something like, we can take over their trade or their wallet or something like that. And I thought, huh? Well, hold on. Isn't your wallet supposed to be decentralized and only accessible by you? And if Solana is now asking the community to vote so they can take over someone's wallet, does that mean Solana is not decentralized and more centralized and Solana has access to every single person's wallet? Or does that mean Solana is the holder of that particular wallet? Is Solana trading against itself? Is Solana doing a long against itself? Is Solana shorting itself? And whichever exchange is now responsible may be able to pay this. So yeah, liquidity, whatnot, and this and that. It's a whole different game. Again, you're talking, when we're looking at leverage markets and this and that, this is traditional markets. I'm not in for the leverage markets. I always say to guys, I say, guys, if you're not 100% sure, never ever trade against it. Don't, end of the day, longs and shorts are very lucrative. Yes, great. But it's a crazy thing. It's like for BTC, we know there's 21 million coins. But if somebody goes out there today and trades, opens a trade and he wins 50 million coins, the exchange will have to pay, whether there's enough BTC in the world or not, one way or another. So don't worry too much about it. I wouldn't really bother too much. All I'm going to say is just wait for it, be patient. I'm not giving you advice to to short anything or long anything. But what I'm saying is these are buy advice. Is wait for the bottom, wait for the confirmation. If you're bullish on something, then pick it up. And by that time, if they're liquidated, good luck. We get them for even cheaper. So if I can get Solana for less than $1, why not? Buy a couple of million of them. To stop a sell off. Okay, let's see. I don't know what's going on. Let me see. So Dennis says, Dennis Soreto says, in the market is only 9K of BTC, 91K people not selling. Why? If it's supposed to go to 13 or 3K. In the market is only 9K of BTC. Okay, my brother. Let's do this. Let's do this. So in the market, there's 9K BTC. Okay. $9K BTC. Come on, don't die on me. Don't die on me. Alright guys, just waiting for it to load up. Just waiting for this to load up. Let's see what it does. When it does. What's wrong with this? Come on. All right, guys, let's see what it does. For some reason, it's not loading. But I was going to check basically how many BTC there is in the market. My phone battery is dead right now, so it's no point. But I would have double checked, and I could tell you exactly how many BTC is in the market. Because obviously, people talk about market. I mean, what are you looking at? Are you looking at the trading portfolio? Are you looking at a specific exchange? Are you looking at the user balance on exchanges? What are you looking at? What says to you there's 9k BTC? You know, that's what I was about to confirm, but for some reason ViewBase doesn't want to even launch, so not sure what's going on. Actually, let me try something else. Give me a second, stay there, give me a second. I'm going to try Google browser, see if Google browser works. Let's try this. Weird. Weird. I'm even trying, I even thought of opening up Chrome in case Chrome works, but no, even Chrome didn't want to work. Okay. Well, it's saying that can't be loaded, so not going to bother too much about that. But we'll look at it next time anyway. So I will look at the profiles. I'll double check. Maybe it's because I got 50 different things. Maybe I need to update my thing. But we will double check. Oh, let's try this actually. It says HTTP. Why is it HTTP? HTTPS. Let's try this. Maybe that will resolve it, because sometimes you could have a particular issue like this where some crazy crap happens. Anyway, we're not talking about this. Let's see if this loads. That would be insane. But let's see. 9k of BTC, 91k people not selling. Why? Well, this is where I'm confused. You got 91k people. Again, we need to know what you're talking about. We need to understand the context, where the data is coming from. What 91k people? We need to understand. There are millions of wallets out there. We do know this. We can actually track this. For example, I can actually, hold on. Let me check something, because we can actually check supply blocks. So here we can see how many addresses there are. For example, the addresses are 335,000 addresses, right? We've had 199,000 transactions, which is what time frame? We're in 5 days. So yeah, this is weird stuff going on. Right. Active address, 747,000 active addresses. So again, I need to understand what's going on, right? Because this is really, really important. Because when we're looking at all of this, we see a different data, activity, even activity, yeah. BTC address 9,915,000. So again, BTC address is a lot. Like, so I'm confused. Only way I can see this is if I went to ViewBase, then I would have got that data that I'm looking for. Unfortunately, ViewBase is not working, so there's nothing I could do about that. Hopefully another time. Why did ViewBase not open? What's wrong with it? So that's fine, I won't enter it. Just reset and just give me the bloody page that I want. Right, guys. Okay, let's not bother with it. It's not loading. It's not loading. We'll find it another time anyway. We'll talk about it another time. No worries at all. Right. Not selling. People don't have to sell. Which is the thing is, okay, there's another. Let me explain. Okay, forget the ViewBase, forget everything. Let's explain it this way, right? If I bought, and I've mentioned this about Solana, I bought Solana at $1. I'm not selling. I'm still in profit. I don't have to sell, even if I know Solana is going to $4, because guess what? I'm still going to be up $3. Think about it that way. Not everybody needs to sell. We can short the market. In fact, even better, we can long the market when we're confirming. We don't have to sell. Does that make sense? So again, we need to understand the context. When we do, then we know what we're talking about, right? Where all of this data comes from, this 9,000 BTC and this 91K people. We can understand where all of this is coming from, but it doesn't have to go to 3K. And even if it goes to 3K, there are people waiting to pick it up at 3K. Believe me, there are people waiting out there, right? But there's more to the story than we all know. Sometimes we have to kind of understand the market for what it is. It's like a lot of people said to me, well, look, Michael Saylor, he's not talking anymore. I'm like, no, he is. He's still on Twitter. They're like, but isn't he buying anymore? I'm like, if he's not buying anymore, then he's stupid. Because last time I remember, his average was about 24,000. So he's at loss. But does he actually want it to be at a loss is the question. And people who are not in the traditional markets, who don't understand traditional businesses and structures and how the taxman works and how certain rebates work and this and that, it's difficult for you to understand. But Michael Saylor's not complaining. He has a loan, 0 interest. He doesn't have to pay that for a very long time. And so he's bought BTC on borrowed money. Potentially he can borrow some more, or potentially he can now invest his own money and buy some privately, but he doesn't have to announce it. Because remember, when he bought the previous amount, he bought it through his company loan. But he could be possibly buying personal stuff right now, but he doesn't have to mention it. And he probably, if he does, he's going to mention it when he's in profit. So a lot of these guys, they won't tell you until it's too late. That's how it pretty much works, right? The news you will get is always going to be later. It's not going to be, we're doing it. It's going to be, we've done it. And even if they did do it, trust me, they will not help the market, because they traditionally do not buy on an exchange, on an open market. They usually buy over the counter, which means like you and me transferring from each other. That doesn't impact the price. So they could be buying it for $1 million a coin, and we will never know they bought it for $1 million a coin, because end of the day, they never did it on the exchange. They never triggered that price mechanism. So that price does not help us. And I've talked about this many, many times, that we don't make profit from these guys or whatever actions they take. Some of these public whales that come out, again, they do it for the hype. They do it for other benefit. They have other motivation. Trust me. You go to one of my favorite characters, Max Kaiser from the Orange Pill, right? Go and watch him, right? Ask him how many BTC he's got. Everyone knows he's got a shit ton of BTC. He's been in it since day one. Everyone knows he's got a shit ton of BTC. Ask him how many he's got. He'll never tell you. Never tell you. Who's it? The founder. So he now owns blockchain.com, basically, the website. I forgot his name. He's one of the early day boys. But go and look at his Wikipedia page, for example, or maybe some video of him. And what you'll find out is he gave away thousands of Bitcoin in the early days. He gave away free thousands of Bitcoin. Now imagine how many he still has. But go and ask him how many he's got. He will never tell you. He'll never tell you, right? And a lot of these, the number, like, isn't he trading? He's trading. Isn't he buying? He's buying. Is he selling? He's selling. But we will never know. That's the key here. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Dennis says, thanks, man. I'm cool. No, we're all cool, man. Oh, listen, end of the day, we're here to talk. Some people will like to sweeten up for you. Some people won't. I'm one of those. I don't sweeten up anything. I'm just straight up. As I said, I don't have a timetable. I don't have nothing, because I'm not here for any of the other stuff. I was originally here to help a small group of people. That was it. A small group of people who needed help. I said, look, I can't help everybody, for half an hour, 1 hour every day. I'll do videos and I'll send it to you guys, and that's it. And I keep myself very private. I don't like to expose certain things. But look, I'm here. I do it publicly. No edits, none of this business. What I do is there. What you see is what you get, basically. And I'll just be honest. If I don't know something, I'll say I don't know. And if I do know something, then I'll tell you exactly what it is. Okay, give me 5 minutes here. So if I don't know, I'll say I don't know, right? And I'll just keep it that way. Right, so sorry about that, guys. I see Mark says, Ashman, so tired. Man, so tired. I'm going to have a check out with one more question. Which L1 do you think are going to survive the bear market? Name your top 5. Which new gems are you looking at? When we're talking about layer ones, it's going to be a very important thing, because layer ones, like BTC technically is a layer one, right? It doesn't have a layer two on top of it, but it is a layer one. When we're talking about Ethereum, it's technically a layer one, right? When we're talking about Binance, for example, it has its own chain where you can build other coins on top of it. It's technically a layer one. So layer ones, I wouldn't worry too much about it. I'll go blindfold on layer ones because I'm not too concerned about it. It's the layer twos you got to be careful about, because they might not survive if something happens, right? But layer ones are always going to stick around. I think they're not that problem. So for me, I'm looking at Avalanche, Polkadot, Cardano. These are my top coins, by the way. Remember, I'm super bullish on those because they haven't done anything yet. They're not ready yet. When they are ready, things are going to be really, really working. So end of the day, those are the one we're looking at. Yeah, I would say Avalanche, I would say Binance, I would say Ethereum, crypto.com. I'm looking at that. I've got my eyes on that. Even Matic is a layer two. Matic might even survive, but that's layer two, so there's no point talking about those. But yeah, I mean, it's when you're looking at blockchains, right? Blockchains, most of them will survive. Bear market doesn't impact a blockchain. It impacts the projects built on top of the blockchain, right? Which can't survive. They take your money, they do a runner. So think about it that way. When we're looking at the projects built on them, that's the problem. The blockchain itself is not the problem, right? I know you're probably concerned, oh, Luna was a blockchain. Yeah, technically Luna was a blockchain, but Luna was a very unique type of a blockchain, and Luna had a lot of control, right? There was a lot of control, especially from the founders and everything, the developers and everything. And they got greedy. Put it this way, they got greedy. They realized that they can mint whatever money they want and they got greedy. But again, who becomes greedy? The people who had nothing to start with. Does that make sense to you? So remember what I always say, there's the same kind of stuff, right? When we talk about why people come on time, every day, on schedule to YouTube, do you think they come there because they don't need it? No, they need it. That's why they come there. When we talk about people like Michael Saylor promoting his thing and coming every time, why? He needs it. When we talk about people like Luna, right, creating this and that, they need it. And that's what it is. There's not many people out there who don't actually need it. And if they don't need it, you won't see them ever. You will never see them. But I'm not going to make this too long anyway. I'm going to go because Mrs. wants to go to bed, and it's about, yes, it's really late and the battery's dying. So you didn't hear me say Sol. How many times do I have to talk about Sol? Put it this way. If Sol goes to, you know, where we are right now, from here, say $13, $14, I'll be looking into Sol as well. I'll possibly even put a buy order around 4. It doesn't matter. I don't really care about the FUD, because remember, the rules are very simple. When you invest a certain amount of money, always when you press that button to buy, that buy button should mean you've lost the money. Right? Until you can recoup your initial investment, you've lost your money, full stop. That's the rules. If you play with those rules, if you've already lost the money the moment you bought it, you're psychologically much more clean, much more clear, much more calm. You have no issues. So that's what it is. So Solana, yes, it's okay, I'll buy, but I'm not going to really put it into the best top 5 or anything like that. Because there's a lot of control. Solana, if they make any mistake, they could end up like Luna. So I'm really sorry to say this, but that's the truth. I don't care how fast they are. They can go billion miles an hour, whatever, doesn't matter. They could do a trillion transactions. I don't care. Solana's had its hiccups, a lot of problems. If they come back strong next year, next season, basically, and fix those problems, great. But I'm only willing to risk what I can afford to lose, nothing more. So on that note, guys, I'm not going to say anything else. I hope this was a valuable video. I see Dennis has subscribed. Awesome. Thank you very much, Dennis. Thank you very much for subscribing. And I'm going to catch you guys on another one very soon. Hopefully, I'm going to talk about other stuff, and hopefully no fear, no FUD, just stay calm and make those awesome buys and move forward with life, basically. I think that's the most important thing. I think nothing else matters. So yes, let's catch everybody on another one. And of course, you want to continue the conversation, I'll be available on Discord, so you can always throw me a line there and we continue talking up there and see what happens. And Bubble, you got to come to the restaurant, bro. I haven't seen you in a long time. I think I saw your friend the other day. He was driving past or something. But come over, have a drink on me, and then we chill out, and we should do a meetup or a catch up or something with everybody. That would be really, really awesome. So other than that, guys, I'm going to leave you guys. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on another one very soon. Adios, my amigos.